This morning we found out that in the second week of June, another 1.5 million Americans filed initial claims for unemployment benefits. So these are people who are filing claims for unemployment insurance for the first time. For the past 11, 12 weeks, we've seen more than 1 million people apply for jobless benefits for a while now. It climbed as high as 6.8 million in 1 week. But it's gradually come down at this point, but we still, have millions of people, around 20 million Americans who are out of work, and each week there's been another wave of people applying for unemployment insurance for the first time, indicating that people are still being laid off. There still might be backlogs in the systems at states that might need to get cleared out. So we're moving in the right direction generally, but we're far from out of the woods. The economy added 2.5 million workers back to payrolls in the month of May. That was largely driven by 2.7 million people who were laid off or furloughed on a temporary basis coming back to work. So that kind of aligned with when states in May started peeling back the restrictions that they imposed to slow the spread of the virus in the first place. So that was definitely encouraging, considering economists from the White House to Wall Street expected the economy to lose jobs in May. So the fact that we actually gained more workers is an encouraging sign. That said, the unemployment rate is still 13.3%. That's about 3 percentage points higher than its peak during the Great Recession. And there's still about 20 million people in the country that are unemployed. One of the big questions we have right now is that there are about 15 million people in the country who tell the Labor Department that they currently are not able to work, but expect to return to the job that they lost when the pandemic started to force businesses to close down. So that's about 3/4 of the total people in the country who are unemployed. Bringing all of those workers back would be enormous, but the problem is a lot of those workers are employed in industries that largely depend on getting large groups of people together for long times, in closed spaces often too. So we're talking restaurants, we're talking entertainment, leisure, hospitality, travel. All of those folks are facing a very uncertain future that largely depends on whether or not the US is able to contain the coronavirus or maybe get a vaccination or treatment that helps people feel more confident. Now, one thing Congress did to help those workers get over this stretch was increase unemployment benefits by about $600 on top of what they would normally receive from states. Now, each state has their own level of unemployment benefits. It's a federal program that's administered by states, so there's a little bit of state politics and state priorities that go into play there. But that $600 boost is set to expire at the end of July. Democrats are largely in favor of continuing it because they don't want to put vulnerable workers or high-risk workers in the position where they might have to pick between, staying home to protect their health or going back to work to be able to pay rent. Now, a lot of Republicans and some Democrats see the increase in unemployment benefits as a disincentive for some people to go back to work, because in about 38 states, the increase to unemployment benefits is actually higher than the average weekly wage. So what lawmakers are trying to do right now is try to find some sort of middle ground to keep those enhanced unemployment benefits going while still encouraging people to come back to work as quickly as they can.